Well, welcome everybody. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight all the way from, I'm in South Florida, and my brother Samir will be joining me all the way from Roatan, Honduras. He's there waving his hand. And Claudia, my partner at work, our marketing director, will be joining us as well. We're excited to present Anthony's Key to you. As you can see, it's a beautiful paradise with the fringing reef that surrounds all those bungalows in this first image. And that image you see there is actually Anthony's Key Resort, and in the key it's called Anthony's Key. Adjacent to it is Bailey's Key, and those lovely bungalows surround that island. It's about an 8-acre key with just scenic ocean views, as you can see. On to the next slide. The next slide is also going to show us a scenery of the resort, but with a background of the main island of Roatan that Steve just passed there. And like I mentioned, this is a family business. Okay, there's that image. Thank you, Steve. Of Roatan is in the background there, which is the island where Anthony's Key is situated. And you can see it's very lush, it's mountainous, it's a gorgeous place. And the waters there are very warm and inviting. We can't wait to have you back and visiting. If it's been your first time, then we are doing everything in our power to follow the social distancing measures. We are asking for those to wear masks wherever social distancing is not possible. And just so you know, we reopened on September 5th. So like Lisa mentioned, we're open and operating, and hopefully you'll come visit us soon. On to the next slide. So I was mentioning earlier, family business, my brother Samir on the right there, I'm in the middle, and my dad. We've run this business for now 52 years, and we're proud to say that my dad was the main founder of this business, and my brother is the general manager, and he's present at the property there every single day. So he'll meet and greet you, as so will my dad, and have a cup of coffee with you at breakfast if you're interested in hanging out and chatting. We make sure that everything runs smoothly every day, and there are over 230 employees that run and operate this resort. We're very proud to say that many of them have spent up to 40 years working with us. So we're excited to know that we were able to support them during the COVID-19, and many of them have come back to work with us, and we're rotating the staff. We're accommodating everybody and just making things work. So thanks to many of you who've just been loyal and supporting us along the way. You can move on, Steve. So Roatan, for those of you who don't really know where we're located or probably never heard of Roatan, we're on this island off the coast of Honduras. Honduras is in Central America. It's actually the country that's at the very heart of the Americas. And Roatan it's a pretty large island. It's one of the largest of the Bay Islands, with an area of 49 square meters, has about 30 miles long and about 1 to 2 miles wide. It has an international airport, and the code for Roatan is RTB. Once you arrive to the international airport, there's about a 15-minute bus ride. We provide the transfers. We are asking for social distancing on our buses, and we are asking and require for you to wear a mask at that point. So the main hubs to get there, coming from Boulder, Colorado, I would say Denver, via Houston or Dallas with American Airlines or United Airlines would get you there. There are other cities such as San Francisco and Atlanta. We've used Delta from Atlanta. Currently, right now, with the COVID situation, American's the only carrier that's flying out there right now. Delta will start sometime next year in June, and United is starting now in late October with the flight. So if you're looking to come out soon in the next couple of weeks, American Airlines the way to go. Next. So these are our buses. We have several buses, so we try not to crowd our buses, and you know, the ride is just 15 minutes. It's a very scenic ride. Next, okay. A little bit about Anthony's Key. So we envision Anthony's Key as a nature paradise that nature created. As you can see, there's a lot of green foliage everywhere. We've built around nature. We've built our bungalows hidden and tucked right into the palm trees and very nicely fitting into nature. If you see our restaurants, you will see probably a tree coming out of one of the areas because we try to build around nature. So that's been our theme, and we try to keep everything peaceful and nice and beautiful. And I think what really makes Anthony's Key unique and guests coming back is really this natural, beautiful setting that we have. 2 islands. You get to stay in a private bungalow over the water or ocean view, but we also have the hillside bungalows that are located up on the hillside with a garden view. So plenty of guests like that. They like the setting, and just our staff really makes people feel at home, welcoming, and your staff gets to know you by name and you become family. So these are some of our interior bungalows over on the Key. We have both areas, like I mentioned. So the Keyside accommodations are the most popular, as well as the most abundant ones that we have. Up on the hillside, there are only really 10 bungalows. And then on the Key, there are over 46 bungalows, and they come in 2 categories, Key Superior and Key Deluxe. The difference between both of these are really, the deluxe is the bigger room that will fit a family nice, a family of 4 or more, 5. Try not to exceed over 6 people in the rooms. And then the Key Superior can hold 2 adults and 2 children, or 3 adults comfortably, but no more than 4 people to a Key Superior room. Up on the hillside, we have the same category, which would be Hill Superior and Hill Standard. Now, the standard just means non-air conditioning, smaller rooms, and we can set up for bunk beds. So if you have family with children, that would be the ideal and our less expensive room. But these are all images of how the rooms are set up. As you can see, very beautiful floors, the mahogany bed frames and furniture. Each room comes equipped with a safety deposit box, air conditioning in all rooms, hot water showers. All the toiletries in each room are from our spa, the Isora Spa. It's a beautiful fragrance of, what is it, Samantha? The fragrance, orange, ginger? Can't remember that.
Yeah, there's a mix. Mm-hmm.
A mix. It's, so you don't need to carry or lug all that shampoo, conditioner, and gel. We provide it for you daily. There's also a coffee maker for each room with a authentic Honduran coffee. So you don't have to leave your room, right? Steve's pointing it out there. And beautiful windows that you can see right out your bedroom. And some rooms, the Key Deluxe has the private deck versus the Key Superiors. They share a deck with a neighboring room. So you would just walk out of your room and enter the decks. So this is the landing as soon as you get off the taxi boat. So some of you are wondering, well, how do you get over on that little island? Well, you take this taxi boat here to your right in the image. You'll see the boat taking off. It's a free shuttle ride. It's about a minute ride to get to and from Anthony's Key and the island of Roatan. We handle all your luggage for you. You don't have to lug those every day. And you don't have to lug your dive gear either, because we provide lockers for you, which Samir will talk to you more about. The dining area is located on the main island. So you do have to work for your meals. There's 60 stairs that you'll have to climb up to get to the main dining room, and our front desk is located in that area. So you have a very beautiful view of Anthony's Key and the view of Bailey's Key from this deck. And as you can see, it looks like a tree house mounted up on the hill there. And the open dining. So it's all open dining. We have ceiling fans and fans for you. So it's a really beautiful scenic route. So this is a testimonial that Stephen had written up for us. And if you want to read it, it's fine. He's just been a longtime friend, and Stephen's been a very advocate of Anthony's Key. So he says that the dive operation is sophisticated and that we've perfected it basically after 52 years. So here's the view. We have a spa over on the quay with the pool, as you can see on the image there. The pool is a freshwater pool, and right next to it is the spa. So a lot of the ladies like the spa, and the men as well. You can do services as massages, facials, body wrap treatments, manicures and pedicures, but we do not do hair or any waxing or things like that. All right, yeah. So there's a beach area on that quay that you can see right here in this image. The front part of the quay is the beach. We have the stand-up paddle boards as well as the kayaks that you can take at your leisure and just enjoy paddling there in that lagoon. As you can see, it's very still. We've received some beautiful pictures this week, actually, of the stillness of the water. It looked like you could walk on the glass. It was just so still this week. So we'll make sure to share those with you, Lisa and Steve, because they're gorgeous images that Samir sent us. Next. So we have a video. Enjoy our video. In the meantime, taste and see what Anthony Ski is all about for yourself. Right now, with the social distancing, we're only allowing 8 divers per boat, and a dive captain and the boat captain and a dive instructor. So there's only 10 total people allowed on the boat right now. And we have plenty of boats to accommodate people, so you never feel crowded at Anthony Ski.
I'm not hearing a background music, but wondering if Steve knows that.
Yeah, I can hear it on my end. I'm not sure why it's not playing on your end, but
Okay.
pretty pictures.
Yeah, why not? The little seahorse.
Sharp-nosed eel.
Make you want to go and dive, huh, Steve?
Don't rub it in.
Like any
Wow,
of us,
that's
need
pretty.
any encouragement. It's gorgeous.
I still haven't quite mastered that one.
Samir, you'll come on after this part of the video.
Froggy. That's cool.
Oh, wow. Looks like it's repeating itself there. But all right, well, my name is Samir Galindo. I am general manager, and I'm on property here at Anthony's Key in Roatan. And I understand from Lisa and Steve that there are over 100 people on this little chat, Zoom chat here this evening. And I want to say thank you for taking the time out to listen to us. And we sure hope that things are coming back to normal pretty soon here, so that we can, you know, get you guys down here a little easier. But I'll talk a little bit about educational activities that the resort offers, and we're going to start with the diving. It's unfortunate that maybe it was just my internet connection, but I couldn't hear the background music in it. But anyway, as Steve said, you know, there's some pretty neat images there, and it gives you guys a taste for what diving is like in the Bay Islands, and especially right off of the reefs that are surrounding Anthony's Key in the northwestern side of the Caribbean. Well, tell you a little bit about our dive facility. We are a PADI 5-star career development center. We have a couple of course directors on staff that are doing IDCs. We're doing some internships, and just before the lockdown, because of the virus, we were getting our staff trained to do some technical diving. So we wanted to get into that, and hopefully we can get back on track with that pretty soon. But here in this image, you can see one of the boat captains interacting with the guests. All of our dive boats are custom-made dive boats with big platforms, easy access into the water. And we have a full-fledged dive shop with all the rental gear that you might need, from wetsuits to larger tanks. Some people that like to consume a bit more air. We have some 100 cubic foot tanks. The majority of the tanks we're using are 80 cubic foot. We have been dedicated to scuba diving for the last 50 plus years, as my sister was saying. And we're a great family resort. And we'll move on to the next slide, Steve, and talk a little bit more specific about some of these things. One of the reasons a lot of our guests like to come to Anthony's Key is because we've tried to make it work where it's easy for the guests. No one likes to be logging around gear, and we've built a storage area right next to the dock. Everybody is assigned a locker. Typically, your locker will match up with your room number, and if a couple is there, him and his spouse can have lockers right next to each other. They have locks, and we've built these lockers where the ventilation in there is pretty fluid, so that when you store your gear at the end of the day, the next morning, we have a lot of ceiling fans inside of the building as well, and all the lockers have this lattice stuff, so it ventilates real good, and you can put on a dry wetsuit in the morning. And the boats dock up, really close there, and you can leave all your gear there overnight, and you don't have to take anything back to your room. On our property, we have a recompression chamber, and we're a DAN preferred provider for any type of DCS treatment that may occur in our area. And, they evaluate us, and we have an agreement with them where we're treating any of the patients that may have DAN insurance and so on. And the nice thing with having this on the premises is that we have 4 doctors on staff. There's even a lab and a pharmacy there. And, as divers diving consecutively all week long tend to get a lot of, ear irritations and stuff like that, and may want to consult a doctor. It's pretty quick, it's not like you're going to spend all morning doing an appointment, but the doctors can look into your ear and let you know and give you some treatment for it if you're having a little bit of problems with that. The diving here, things that you can expect to see from these images, you can see huge barrel sponges. The Bay Islands and Roatan specifically has always been known for all the variety of different sponges, and most of them are typically 60 foot and deeper, and big sea fans and black coral, a lot of different cavern-like and caves and canyons and things. So the reef is very diverse in that sense, and the whole contour of it. So it's intriguing. Some people don't ever get tired of going to some of these sites, and you start shallow and go deeper. Here are some other aerial shots that give you an idea of the formation of these reefs. The one photo on your screen to the left, that is a particularly popular dive site called Spooky Channel. And as you can see, the reef almost comes right over, and sometimes there's silver sides in there, and you're diving, and if the light is just right and the visibility is just right, it's just an incredible dive. And you know, our guests love this site. It's only, you know, 5-minute boat ride from the resort dock. And, you know, you have fringing reefs over in the south, northwest and southeast side of the island. We'll be doing most of our diving on the northwest side of the island, which is nearest the resort and allows us to do up to 3 dives a day so that we can fulfill our package that you purchase. A few wrecks as well, not too far from the resort. We have one just outside the channel and another one probably about a 15-minute boat ride. That would be the Odyssey that's further, both, and the Aguila, which are both cargo ships. They're both in about 100 feet of water. And one of them is near an eel garden that is pretty neat. And there's coral growing over these and beautiful photo opportunities. And the Odyssey is this photo, as you can see right here. This has a superstructure on the stern of the boat that is really neat to dive around. So people that are not certified to penetrate anything can just go on the outside of this and have a wonderful dive. And the area that they're in is a sand flat, and you got, you know, coral reef not too far away from where the ship is. So these are very popular as well, and we make sure that you get an opportunity to dive these wrecks while you're here for your week. This map gives you an idea of the reef and how it surrounds Roatan itself. As you can see, all those little numbers around the perimeter of Roatan, those are all dive site, and the names that correspond to it are in the full picture there. Anthony's Key is over in that little area where you see Sandy Bay, and Bailey's Key, that's where we are. So we'll be covering sort of like that sixth of the island on either side sometimes. Yeah, that's generally the area where Steve has a cursor right now that we will concentrate on while you're here. So a lot of dive sites. I mean, there's over 60 miles of reef. And we can go as close as we want to get to a site or as far, but in order to fulfill a package, sometimes you got to keep it close and give people an opportunity to get back, go to the restroom and so on. These are some of the little critters and creatures that you can see on the reef. Our reef is very diverse. We are part of the Mesoamerican reef, which is that section come all the way from the Yucatan Peninsula down to Belize and across the Bay Islands, that L-shaped part of the reef. This is part of the Mesoamerican reef. You can find seahorses in the mangroves. You can find big groupers in there. A lot of small fish, as you saw in the video, from little blennies and all the small coral fish that you're probably familiar with, and big moray eels and so on and so forth. And our most popular dive right now is the shark dive. And this particular site is about a 40-minute boat ride from the dock. It's one of the farther sites that we would go to. And you're typically diving here in about 75 feet of water with Caribbean reef sharks. And the average amount of sharks that you may see on this site, probably 12 and up to 24 sharks at a time. Lots of big fish down there as well, big Nassau groupers and other schools of fish in this area. Can be some current there at times, and this is an area where sharks predominantly have been, and you know, this has been something that's been developed for divers, and the site is called cara a cara, face to face. So you don't want to miss that when you're here. That would be an additional cost. It's not typically in our package, but everybody that goes there just raves about that site. Our dive boats, as I mentioned earlier, they're all custom made dive boats. They're open and they're easy access back onto the boat. 2 ladders on our boats with big platforms and a lot of room there to space out. We got a camera table, and we keep a a rinse bucket with fresh water on board for people with cameras. And, you know, keep some extra weights and things like that, extra regulator. But our boats are really comfortable. People don't have any issues whatsoever with our dive boats. These are some images of our compressor room. Maybe some of you are not too interested in this, and there are other people that are. And we have these 100 CFM comp air compressors. We also do nitrox. We have a 32% blend for nitrox, and that's also an additional charge outside of your package. And these compressors can do probably 120 tanks in a little over an hour. So we can rotate those tanks pretty easy. Other things that you can do on the property, we have horses that people can take an afternoon out and go horseback riding with a guide, and that is done along the beach mostly. There's about a mile of beach that our guides will take you on. We also have a 2,500 square foot little artisan shop where you can buy, you know, local goods and things that you might have forgotten at home: flip-flops, caps, swimsuits, some dive equipment, and a lot of little trinkets in there. And of course, as my sister was saying about the spa, that is available, and we are doing different treatments in there, from facials to manicures and pedicures and different wraps and things that they put you in. So that's an experience that you don't want to miss. You know, at the end of the week, you're tired, you can go and relax at that. You go back home refreshed. Other available things at no cost to guests while they're at the resort, we have paddle boards, kayaks, the beach, and these you can use at your leisure. We just ask for you to stay within the lagoon area of the resort. Another one of our properties that we developed now over 12, or I guess we were going closer to 15 years or so now, is Maya Key, a little island on your screen down to the bottom left. We have replicas of Mayan ruins there, an exhibit center, a shopping area. We'll typically take a day out, take our guests over there to spend the day, have lunch. There's a pool, there's a beach, and snorkeling out there is just fantastic. We also are working with Honduras Forestry and taking in injured, confiscated, and donated Honduran wildlife like jaguars and monkeys. We have a lot of white-faced capuchin monkeys and different kinds of birds, macaws and toucans and stuff. So it's really an interesting spot for you to, you know, break things up during the week and have an experience to see that. That also is a part of your package that you don't have to pay for. And it gives us an opportunity to dive over on a southwest side of the island as well and see what the reef conditions are over there. Here's a little bit more about the spa. As you can see, they have these hot stone treatments. We also have a 60,000-gallon pool that is complemented with a bar. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you want to get in a little fresh water and get yourself a cocktail, or skip out on a dive and lay out at the pool in a lounge chair, that's fine. This pool sits right out in the middle of Anthony's Key itself. Here's a photo of the gift shop and the deck that Haydee was talking about that overlooks, you know, the walk up the stairs is worth it when you can get a view like you have the inner part of the lagoon here, and you know, kind of get a bird's eye view of the north, you know, the front part of Anthony's Key itself. Here are some sustainable practices that we have been doing. The Institute for Marine Sciences, which is also part of our operation, has a program that we work with different schools and universities that have a science program that they get credit for this. We have someone that coordinates these classes there, and we basically, you know, give them room and board, and they have access to a boat. They have a lab. We're doing a coral reef restoration program. We are doing lots of different things at the Roatan Marine Park, and we've also recently installed, I think March this coming year will be a year. This is a 328 kilowatt solar plant that we are taking advantage of all the sunlight in this part of the world to help us to, you know, we've avoided putting out now over 200 tons of carbon dioxide into the air so far. And we've generated over 250 megawatt hours of power out of the solar plant. So these are things that we are doing to be, you know, sustainable operation. The same solar panels, we use inverters here. We can go to the next screen, Steve. This is a little bit of what I was talking about at the Roatan Institute for Marine Sciences. A lot of these, you know, we work with younger school groups because they have professors that are interested or fish or any of the areas that we have that like mangrove areas. You know, they have specific things that they are studying while they're there. Some of them stay anywhere from 2 weeks to a month. And we also have an internship program that these students take advantage of. And we also have the programs with dolphins that we do recreational and educational research with the dolphins that we have at Anthony Ski. This is just some of the things that are listed here as far as, you know, what makes us special or unique destination. And you may take a few seconds to read that. And I will say just a couple more things. You know, Anthony Ski is in the village of Sandy Bay. You know, we sit on the second largest barrier reef in the Caribbean. We have all of these other activities. You know, we're very diverse. We also take people out to do zip lining, or if they want to visit any particular part of the island itself. Of course, right now with, you know, the whole COVID situation, everything is a little bit different, but we're taking all of the precautions necessary and have spent a lot of time and effort and setting up all of our biosecurity measures to make sure that you are safe and that our staff is safe from propagating this virus throughout. You know, different awards here that have been given to Anthony Ski over the years, but you can, you know, read those for yourselves, and then when you come back, you'll be our best judge as to whether we should or we deserve that or not. But I'm sure there are many of you that might have questions. I don't want to keep it too long. So how do you want to handle the questions, Lisa or Steve?
Yep, Samira, I've got a few for you, but first of all, can I just say thank you? Very great. Your presentation was spectacular, very comprehensive, great pictures there. I mean, I think it really enticed a lot of people to want to come down there to just see all the spectacular reef and fish life that you guys have, and it just looks like such a beautiful place. So really, thank you so much for all of that. But we do have a few questions and a few minutes left, so let me just go through this real quick. And the first one was, one of our guests asked, is Calvin's Crack diveable from AKR?
Calvin's Crack, that's quite a ways over on the south side.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go any place. Typically, if a group coordinates with the dive master and they want to go do a double tank dive, And like I said, there are many places in the reef that we can explore to fit the is where it can get a little, tight. But we can try to make special arrangements to get you to some of these sites. It's not that far away, but as long as everybody is agreed, and we go prepared, we could probably use one of the larger boats depending on the size, because some of the boats don't have a head.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need that.
And typically our dives is 1 in the early morning, and you come back to the dock and you refill, give people an opportunity to use the restroom, take a break, or somebody to get on who wanted to sleep in later, and they get on a second dive a little bit later. So that's one of the reasons why we've done it that way. And by the time we get back, it's noon, and then we go out and do an afternoon dive, and around 2:15, 2:30, we try to stagger the boats going out as well.
Perfect. That's great. That's exactly what we wanted to know. It's doable, but you obviously just need to confer with, the group and make sure it all works. That's excellent. Another question was about lionfish hunts. Do you guys organize them?
The Marine Park has organized and trained a lot of people, and some of our dive masters have been trained on how to do the lionfish. They do roundups, and our staff will participate in something like that when it's organized through, but we don't typically have the dive master hunt for lionfish while he's on a dive with clients, because we want to make sure that he's focusing all of his attention for safety reasons on a dive with the divers, rather than seeking out a lionfish. But on our free time, some of our dive masters will go out in the channel, and just between them, without the responsibility of other divers, yes, we do collect them, and a lot of people eat them here, or some of the restaurants even buy them if it's enough where they can make a meal out of it.
Yeah, you need a few, but that's for sure. So how is the problem there? Is it getting any better from doing kind of a fairly, a group of people that go out fairly regularly? Is it getting better?
After the roundups, yes. A lot of these lionfish, this situation with the lockdown and COVID, I happened to see one in shallow waters the other day, and they're pretty resilient. They can go into deeper waters where a recreational diver can't reach them sometimes. But we were able to cut down on the sightings and amount of lionfish over the last several years. There has been a good effort to do that. Maybe with what happened here, we have to see how that's going to make, if that has changed things out there. But we'll continue to collect them, the invasive species here. Yes.
Great. Excellent. Perfect. Well, I think, I just want to say thank you to both Samir and Haydee for their presentation tonight. I think it was very comprehensive. And please remember that Roatan is open now, you guys. I mean, if you're jonesing for a dive trip, let's go to Roatan. We'll be happy to organize something for you guys. Easy flights, Denver, Houston, Roatan, typically a Saturday to Saturday schedule. As you see, all the protocols in place. So really it's a good time to go, because the water's flat and there's not very many people there, and the fish are waiting. So we would love to help you guys do that. If you have any other questions, please just let us know, or feel free to give us a call. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to
Lisa,
Yes.
I had a couple of questions come in real quick,
Okay.
if you don't mind. Somebody asked about vegetarian options in the restaurant.
Yes, Steve, we do offer, one of the things that we like to have the guests do is to let us know that they have a dietary need. And if they let us know what they can and cannot eat, or give us some suggestions as to what they want, our chefs are always willing to accommodate that. So we get that all the time. A lot of people with different allergies and stuff. So we're accustomed to that, and we will cater to that. Yes.
Somebody made the comment that they love monkey lalas.
Anthony Ski is the house, the inventor of Monkey Lala. Everybody else on the island got it from there many, many years ago. And I have to say, I'm not the kind of guy to toot my own horn all the time, but we do make the best Monkey Lalas in Roatan.
Someone asked about shore diving or resort diving from the dock.
Yes, that is available daily. On the north side or back side where you see the larger part of the fringing reef front and towards the open ocean, we have a little shack back there with a person who staffs it, and he keeps his extra tanks and some weights on that side. So if you wanted to do a fourth dive at the end of the day, we typically will open that site from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 9 o'clock at night. So you have an opportunity to walk right off the backside of Anthony's Ski. And I do recommend that you have booties for that really shallow area. So you have to walk probably a good 70 feet or so before you get to deep enough water where you could totally submerge. But we have tanks out there for you. That's the only time you really have to take your dive gear over to the island. And we can use a luggage cart to take it out back if you wanted to, but that could be a fourth dive of the day. And inside the lagoon and the shallow area in about 15 or 20 feet of water, there's also a fuselage of a DC-3 aircraft that was placed there 35 years ago, and tends to be.
I hate to interrupt you, Samir, but we have one last question, and then we need to move on really quick here. But
okay.
Somebody's asking about no-see-ums and if there's a time of year where they're worse than others, or.
Yeah, we still have the no-see-ums. They're everywhere in the Caribbean. And we are fumigating on a regular basis to keep those down, mosquitoes and sandflies. But yes, the time of year where they seem to be more predominant is the warmer time of the year, say March through September. And the rainy season, which is mostly October through October, November is the time of year we get majority of the rain that we're going to get this part of the tropics. But the nights are cooler. There's less bugs between October and February.
Great. Well, thank you again, Claudia, Haydee, and Samir. Great presentation. I think it's kind of cruel that you show me all those great underwater pictures when I can't. Well, I guess I could go there, but I'll get there sooner or later. But thanks again for joining us this evening, and